right, Timothy and I are here. We're going to do a new YouTube series. Rating Fits from Movies is what it is called. Our boy Tarabo has curated 5 movies with exceptional style or the other, and we're going to talk about them.
I'm excited to do this, as you aren't necessarily a movie guy.
Yeah, I'm looking at them now, and I don't know any of them. I know the first one, and that's it. So.
All right, well, let's set the mood here, and then let's get into it. Okay, let's get into it. So, first one on the docket is something that you've seen.
Yes, love it. It is Perfect Days. We should have went
to one of these bathrooms.
Yeah.
You know, I think that like the thing that we'll get into here is our obsession with uniform dressing is going to come up during this.
Very modular in the best way.
Mm-hmm. There's no way that we don't address that he's just a very cool-looking guy, too.
He has that going for him. You know what I mean? Yeah.
If you haven't seen this movie and you're like into like Japanese clothing and all the stuff that we do, like you should definitely see this because it's a great like glimpse of Tokyo.
Yeah.
Especially like not just like seeing like the scramble in Shibuya, not all the craziness, but actually showing like all the how calm it is there more than anything. It's really great.
You know, I forgot he had on the GATs, the German Army trainers. Yeah. That's his work shoe. That's sick. First off, the outfit's dope. I love the all blue. That is his work uniform for Tokyo Toilet. And then also, alternatively, in the bottom left, you can kind of see it. He had like his casual off day outfit where he would go have a beer and have his food.
Which was like a gray Henley. He has also it's not shown here, but in one of the scenes he has this like great like brown linen shirt. Look, I don't think that this is necessary. This isn't for everybody. You know what I mean? I think that if you see this movie, you'll take away something small from it that you can apply to your own closet, if that makes sense. Like, obviously, like having like 3 total outfits is very difficult, and not only difficult, but like you have to be a very specific type of person to like fully commit to that. Even someone who's not into clothes, I think, would have a struggle with those
things.
It
works in his exact case because he wears the uniform. So it's not like he has to pick an outfit for work. You know what I mean? Like that is predetermined. And
I also think that they made such specific choices where it's like you're saying, like the German army trainers, which I know we all know from like Margiela, but like those are technically just like a regular issue sneaker that you can get cheap places. So to choose that shoe for this when you could have chosen any shoe and nobody would have noticed anything would have been easier and quite frankly maybe more fitting. This was a deliberate choice in my mind. You know what I mean? And it feels like a very like Japanese choice because that's like a popular sneaker in both worlds there. Also, workwear is definitely approached a lot different in Japan than it is here. Like it is pretty like there's a very specific style to it. You know what I mean? And I think a little bit more flavor than we have here.
100%.
Yeah, I'd be interested for someone to take a look at it, like check out the movie, just because I think you'd like it no matter what you're into.
100%.
But like I think that if you're into like Japanese culture and everything, you're really gonna enjoy this, and then also like how you'd apply that type of lifestyle to your clothing. It's like a nice. The thing I did think about is like how many things do I have that I'm not really that passionate about, or I don't even really care about, or couldn't tell you anything about, and like that resonated with me. Of like I want to know my clothes a little bit better. So I think in that way I feel like it's a really strong style movie.
Yeah. Rating 10 out of 10 on Perfect Days. I think it's perfect.
Yeah, I'll go 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10. All right, the Thomas Crown Affair.
I've never even heard such a thing.
Okay, do you know Steve McQueen?
I know him from the photo we have in the store.
Okay, great. So Steve McQueen was like an iconic American actor. I mean, like we don't really have guys like, I mean, I know this sucks to say when you're older, but like we don't have guys like this anymore. Like there's not like these kind of like American icon type of...
Brad Pitt.
He might be the only one, and you wouldn't sit there and go American. You know what I mean?
No,
like
that's fair.
Like this guy, he drove motorcycles and raced race cars like professionally on the side.
Actually,
and
but he would do it in his movies too.
Yeah. So that was always like included. So he's like a very much like almost like an American action hero of like let's say the '60s predominantly.
Yeah.
He was just like this really like, and he was rugged, and when that was really like considered to be great. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like my grandpa definitely thought this guy like. Ripped. Yeah. This movie's great. Great suiting because he has to be at that level, but also like great sportswear.
Yeah.
You don't get actors like that guy anymore.
No, you don't.
The character actors like that
too is a whole different thing.
It's like, I know you're not like a suiting guy, but you do have to admit the suits
cool.
look like perfect on them. And the fact that this was the 60s, I believe, I hope I'm not wrong there, but I believe the 60s, to now, like that looks, I mean, other than maybe the 3-piece element not holding up as well, everything else like fit-wise looks great.
I think he looks stellar, and I like to wear a suit.
You know what? The other thing is, you don't see that haircut anymore.
His haircut?
It's a good haircut.
Yeah,
I like it for him. Also, one of the few adult blondes that really pulls it off, you know? Number one, I think, like, Steve McQueen, some way, was always able to work in, like, his personal endorsements, if that makes sense. And not necessarily things he was selling, but just, like, things he really fucked
cool
with. So, like, Persol sunglasses, I think he was pretty famous for wearing a Speedmaster, like an Omega watch, that was just his thing. Always kind of, like, worked into, like, the things he's doing, because that watch would have been really great if you were like racing bikes or, you know, cars or boats or whatever the fuck. And then like the glasses are just, again, kind of like sporty for the time.
The golf kit here is really sick. I like that one. The glove is like dirty.
It looks used. Yeah.
Authenticity to it. Also, whatever, there might be a term for this. Navy suit, white shirt, red tie. Really cool.
It's kind of like, it's maybe like arguably too presidential.
I was gonna say it's very government.
But I sort of like it.
I think it's sick as shit.
If you're pairing it with like his vibe, I think it's really cool. Like if you're bringing sort of like he's a way of making things look kind of like tough, even though it's all like pretty like sporty and preppy.
Yeah, he is kind of a hard ass. He does have that energy. Cool.
Yeah.
This is 7 out of 10 for me because he looks sharp, but it's not necessarily my own lane.
Yep. We'll get to Drumline soon. So this was, yeah, I'll give this a 9 out of 10 too. That's great. Yeah, that's great. If you haven't seen the movie, I do think you would like the movie.
There's some
it's
also movies I gotta
it's a
get
lot
to.
of like getting one over on people and stuff. You're big into that energy. All right, let's move on to the next one. All right, Back to the Future Part 2. Have you seen either Back to the Future? No.
I don't like all the colors.
You don't like all the colors?
Too many colors in the hat right there.
Too many colors in the hat.
He's got so much
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, and you got stripes on your socks.
That's why I haven't seen it. That's why I haven't seen it. It makes me uncomfortable, but we can watch it. And just to clarify, this movie is set in future 2015.
Yeah, but it was made in the 80s, I believe.
Okay.
And you got to remember right now. This was like, this technology was insane. Like what we're looking at, this was blowing people's minds. To me, this is like also such like an 80s outlook on the future. You know what I mean? Of like that it would be like the same stuff we like now is definitely gonna hold up all the way into the future.
Yeah.
If you were to just matte black that jacket though, it's S.A. Miyake.
Yeah, no, I agree.
So, like the guys that take the videos of like putting on all the Gorp stuff would be into that jacket. It looks like the sleeves come off and snaps and all that stuff. So, looks like a Tim and Eric bit.
It does.
It would be funny if we didn't say anything, but we just watched the full movie on camera, just on the third one. Okay, so. Look, I do think that like sometimes watching like ideas of the future set in any given time is funny, because like I said, I think they always assume whatever you're into now will carry on, and it will not at all. And I think that like the first one had like sort of the iconic look with like the red vest and denim jacket, and it was very, super cool. I will say this hat is horrifying.
Yeah, it's
horrifying.
It's disgusting.
It looks like he's bait for fish. Whatever they call that, like an angle, whatever.
Like a
lure.
A lure.
Yeah.
A fly.
Yeah. So, but I feel like this was just like whatever like fabric at the time was. They were like, this is advanced.
Just get the craziest one you can
If you look at it in two different directions, different colors, and they would make it into a hat.
Yeah.
That's the future.
This is styrofoam cup-esque. You know what I'm talking about? The swirl with the cyan and the purple and.
Oh, you're talking about from Jerry Seinfeld era. Yeah. So this was future stuff's tough. I do think, like I said, this is like it looks like an S.A. Miyake jacket, so I think that's kind of cool. Yeah, the outfits are absolutely insane.
Yeah, I'd go as far to say atrocious.
I'm realizing I don't remember a lot about this movie as I'm like watching. Like I remember the premise, but like looking at this, whatever these guys are doing down here.
Yeah.
But again, if I'm being completely honest, this looks like half of what Comme des Garçons and Issey Miyake send down the runway. So,
I mean, you're not wrong. This thing here, yeah, it has like
the woven,
shielding
looks like the
to
Kiehl's
it.
vest from Capital.
Exactly. No, it very well could be some Comme des Garçons or something. But runway, sure. Not good though. But you know,
this one's gonna be low.
I'll give it 2 just so I don't give it none.
I'll go 3. I'll go 3. 3's fine. All right, Royal Tenenbaums. You seen this one?
I haven't.
Okay.
It's Wes Anderson though.
If I were to pull up clips of CSI Miami, you'd know all of them. All right, Royal Tenenbaums. Maybe one of Wes Anderson's best movie outside of Bottle Rocket.
Read it back to me so far, Pietro.
Everyone in this movie delivers.
What's the Charabo outfit?
It really is.
Jersey under a blazer.
Sick.
Retired from professional tennis at 26. His last match had been widely discussed in the media.
This really is like quintessential Wes Anderson. Like I think it's still what people think about. I think he's gotten so like he's like a caricature of himself now.
I have to go, right?
I had such a huge crush on her in this movie when I saw it.
Who is that?
Gwyneth Paltrow, baby. Goop Queen.
No, yeah.
To be honest, if I lived alone, I have a funny feeling quickly it would turn into her hanging out. What she's doing in the bathroom is pretty much what I would do for my free time. It's what I like about this when he's doing his best work. I think he is doing the like curation of all the style, putting it all together. I think in some of his later movies, it's gotten to the point where there's no room to breathe for the actors or anybody else. It's just Wes Anderson. When he might as well be the main star.
Sure.
As this movie, I still feel like there was a lot of like room left for actors, and what I like about it is everyone brings that their individual characters to life that are all so different, but then the clothes actually kind of make them all the same.
Yeah.
They're all wearing the same palette. They all seem to have some kind of like general uniform that they have been wearing a long time. It all feels lived in. When you look at it, it tells you something about them. It feels like wardrobe that's used to enhance the character rather than, sometimes you put like a cool clothes on somebody, but there's no context for it. This feels like there is context for everything,
it fits
which
for
I
the
like.
character though.
Yeah.
He's got a cool way about him too.
Yeah.
I was gonna say both him and Owen Wilson's hair is cool for this. It's like the shoulder length cut. I really liked in the beginning. I think Owen Wilson looks cool in the fringe jacket and the cowboy hat.
Yeah.
He's got a way about him though. You know what I mean?
He's got almost the same thing as like Steve McQueen, where there's just like this classic American look to him that like for some reason he can pull it off without it feeling like a costume. And to be honest with you, all these people are in like heightened costume, but weirdly it doesn't. I think they've seamlessly blended it into reality just enough. Like this is that 10% above reality thing that I really love, where it couldn't exist, but it almost feels like it could, or you want it to. And that makes it way better. It all feels very like old money New York. It feels like choices that old money New York would make. I just think, but it also has this like grungy energy to it.
Yeah.
I love it. I mean, I think, like I said, this is his best movie, or close to. I still think Writing in Bottle Rocket's the best, but yeah, this is great. I mean, I think it's.
I really enjoyed that. One, I want to watch the movie. 2, I got nothing bad to say about any Wes Anderson. The whole appeal for me is always the aesthetics.
Yeah.
It's always the outfits and the choices.
Yeah, the use of texture and color and everything is really great.
Yes.
I go 9 out of 10 on this. I think it's great. I mean, it's also iconic. Like people that like aren't even movie like heads like know this and know the costuming. So he's also like, somehow the wardrobe, even though it's like relatively subdued, is like iconic.
Yeah. I go 9 out of 10 as well.
Great.
I once watched Fantastic Mr. Fox twice in the same day.
It's crazy that you've seen that one twice, but never Royal Tenenbaums one. So this is Chungking Express.
I was gonna say it looks like a Chinese noir.
Yeah. So and that's extensively what it is. I mean, it's sort of like instead of taking the angle of just hard like detective style noir, this is like a love story noir.
Oh, cool.
So it's really good aesthetically. It's like it's sort of a dream. It looks like it almost looks like old anime or something, but like real. It's like the real life. It's really well thought through and like in how it's styled, all the shots, lighting.
从分手的那天开始，我每天都买一罐5月1号到期的凤梨罐头。
因为凤梨是阿妹最爱吃的东西。而5月1号是我生日，我告诉我自己，当我买满30罐的时候，他如果还不回來，這段感情就會過期。
先生呢個罐頭賣埋聽日已經夠期啦，嗰邊有好多，不如你換嗰罐啦。
There's like a lot of like iconic outfits in this. I mean, the girl that you're seeing here with the curly hair has this great trench coat. Oh, whoa. Has this great trench coat, these like iconic sunglasses, great like lipstick, like the whole energy is like really like, and you don't really know much about her at first. She's kind of a mystery person and that's its own thing.
Yeah.
It feels very like, it's like a weird movie to watch and like it's kind of hard to figure out what's going on for a little bit, and that's on purpose. I mean, it feels very like it's like very vibey and kind of confusing. She also, the girl with the short hair here, has great clothes, great clothes. I feel like a lot of like the younger crowd is like inadvertently, I'm sure because it's just been like redigested so many times. It's like I feel like it's so current, like her outfits and choices and makeup and everything.
94 it looked like?
Yeah, I think so,
The exhibition did on the Cannes.
Yeah, it has this like really great, I mean, noir is so fun and you don't see it done well very often any longer. And it just has this like, it's this great nod to old stuff while still being very like current for the time. And like you just watched clips, and other than like how it's filmed, it could have been filmed yesterday, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
and the storyline makes sense. It holds up. His clothes are so great. They're like this really like, cause he's like a beat cop or a detective or whatever. And it's like, he just have like these really like almost like ratty clothes, but it also at the same time looks like it could have all been like, you know, late 80s, early 90s YSL or something.
Yeah. I love the striped shirt with the red tie. I think that's sick.
Yeah, which also feels so 90s, but also like cool again. You know what I mean? Yeah, so I think this is like a fun time to revisit this movie. I actually just rewatched it like last year or this year, I can't remember. And it holds up so well. Aesthetically, it's just like perfect. It's like exactly in my lane.
This is cool. I like how dark it is.
Yeah.
Dark and vibey and like gritty. This photo here of the lady in the trench coat and like the background, like that looks how I remember going to a mall in 90s, early, you know, being a literal child.
Yeah. Well, and it's funny, like so much of like my interest in trench coats throughout the years really comes from like when I saw this like in my room on Sundance Channel when I was a kid, and I was like, I want one of those. And even down to like that, I like that his is like it's not like hers, you know, it's not that big double-breasted with the wide. It's the short one. It feels like a more everyday kind of, mostly just because it rains, I think. But it doesn't feel like there's the choices of the character feel natural, but it also feels so hyper stylized also. And I think that's the coolest thing, when you're able to somehow make that bridge to where it's like it doesn't feel like a choice, but also a very specific choice.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is a 10 out of 10 for me, no question. I think this is one of my favorite style movies that I've ever seen. I love it. Aesthetically, it's so pleasing, and the clothes are so cool, and it really holds up.
Yeah. I would do 9 out of 10. I want to see this movie though to digest the styles.
Yeah. Okay, so that was the last one we had. This was a pleasure for me because I would love to talk about movies. We don't even have to talk about the clothes in the movies. If you'll be honest, I'll just talk about. It's really fun. I think that like what your favorite Perfect Days?
My favorite is Perfect Days. It's the thing that I can most closely seeing myself do. You know what I mean?
To be fair, it's the only one you've seen also, so that might have something to do with it. Chungking is far and away for me. I would have put that on any like style, you know, playlist. I would have style movie playlist I would put together. It'd be hard to leave it out. Close second, kind of around the same time period and stuff like that. Fallen Angel is also really good that I'd like to show and discuss at some point. Okay. Yeah, I mean, this was fun. We'll have to do it again. Yeah. Let us know what you liked. If you have movie suggestions, maybe drop those in the comments.
Series suggestions, or series as in shows that we could also do this too. Yeah, I like it. It gives me some more exposure to the world that I
you resist. Yeah. Okay. Well, cool. Well, do the outro thing, Chase. I am not bad at that.
All right, y'all. Well, thank you. Like, comment, subscribe. You should sign up for Patreon if you want early access to Black Friday, because that will be very, very soon. So patreon.com/shopcanoeclub. If you want to join our Discord, shoot me an email, chase@shopcanoeclub.com. Otherwise,
we'll inevitably continue this conversation there because it's definitely going to get transferred over.
Yep.
So yeah, just let us know what you liked, didn't like, or whatever, and we'll keep adjusting and making it better as we go if you like it. And we're open to new ideas too. So
yeah. Me and Timothy are going to try to do more videos in general here as we approach the new year. So we'd love to hear what you want.
Cool. Well, thank you and goodbye.
Peace out.